Assalamu alaikum. It's an honor to get the chance to present our paper at Third International Conference on Electrical and Electronic Engineering, ICEEE 2021. Today, I will present a paper on design and implementation of helmet-based non-invasive CPAP device for COVID-19. I'm Mohammad Masroor Saqib, student of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Rajshahi University of Engineering and Technology. My fellow co-authors of this paper are Mohammad Mahmudul Hassan, Mohammad Rafiul Islam, Jayed Hassan Sani, Siam Shakil, G.M. Saad, and Urchit Dutta. Today's paper is divided into 7 sections. These are introduction, literature review, methodology, prototype design process, results, cost analysis, and conclusion. So let's jump into the central part of this paper. We all know at the end of 2019, the world was affected by the novel coronavirus. The novel coronavirus mainly affects the respiratory system, more specifically the lung, along with other organs. Patients affected with this virus suffers from alveolar damage and low oxygen saturation. To improve their condition, we need to increase the oxygen saturation and recruit the damaged alveoli. And to do this, continuous positive airway pressure, in short CPAP, devices are used. A CPAP is a device designed to supply oxygen-enriched air to a patient's lung at a constant positive pressure. The pressure is kept constant in between 5 to 30 centimeter water pressure. As a result, patients' work on breathing is reduced. CPAPs are conventionally used in a mask-based system, which is not suitable for COVID-19 situation due to the aerosolization problem. Aerosolization occurs at more than 10 centimeter water pressure, which is present in CPAP devices. Aerosolization can spread the novel coronavirus, but the helmet-based solution can eradicate this. Let's review some renowned literature in this sector. Onitza Garmendia and his team worked on a low-cost, easy-to-build, non-invasive pressure support ventilator for under-resourced regions. It was published in the European Respiratory Journal in 2020. It was built using off-the-shelf materials available at most everywhere in the world. It was about $75 US. It could support oxygen enriched. It could supply oxygen enriched air at up to 20 centimeter water pressure, but it has some limitations. For example, it has only one controller for both the user interface and the control of the blower in real time. Also, they haven't mentioned in solution for the aerosolization problem. In 2020, researchers from MIT published a paper on an emergency ventilator, which is also an open source device with some extraordinary features, but their device was bulky and used a lot of power. Another literature from Kate Robin and Jeffrey Stewart showed the design for the implementing in-tube BiPAP. The literature reviewed all the possible risks of COVID-19, but it had some limitations too. It is complex and challenging to implement the design. Also, the learning curve for physician is too steep for this device. Now come to the methodology part of our device. In this device, the filtered air enters the air inlet, mixes with oxygen. A blower pushes the air through the outlet with positive pressure in a controlled manner. The outlet of the blower is connected to a helmet. The helmet outlet is connected with a HEPA filter and a PEEP valve. HEPA filter filters out the virus. By this, the helmet-based system solves the aerosolization problem. Also, the intuitive user interface and blower-based design have made this device very easy to use. Here you can see the 3D model of the complete setup. The CPAP device is connected with the helmet. This model is made using SolidWorks software. This device consists of two different controllers. The UI part controls all the user inputs and displays the output to the user. On the other hand, the RT part contains the blower, the pressure sensor, and other sensors. The UI and RT parts are connected with serial pins to communicate. Here is a 3D design of the inside of the device. It contains the connection for the display. Also, it shows the blower, the pressure sensor inlet, oxygen inlet, and air inlet outlet ports. The design was also made with SolidWorks. The outside of the prototype has a 3.5-inch TFT LCD, which shows the output to the user. Also, there are two rotary encoders or control knobs to control the device. The backside of the device has an air inlet and outlet port. The circuit of the device was designed in Proteus software. Here you can see the UI controller, RT controller on the circuit. Also, there is an RTC module with an SD card module to save pressure data. Also, it contains a current sensor to control the blower current, a buck converter, and other sensors. Previously, we have discussed to eradicate the aerosolization problem, we have introduced a helmet-based ventilation system. The helmet was designed on SolidWorks. The page was printed with a 3D printer. In the picture, we can see the air inlet, outlet ports, head entry port, and the transparent cover on top of the base. After setting the positive and expiratory pressure value using the control knobs, the blower starts to run, and the pressure is achieved accurately up to ±2 cm water pressure. The user can see the pressure graph on the screen. This CPAP can carefully monitor pressure according to the requirement of the patient. It can control the blower speed to increase or decrease the pressure flow. There are two rotary encoders for controlling the CPAP parameters. The user interface is very easy to learn and control. If any pressure leakage is found, it sends an alarm to the caregiver using the buzzer. And also it indicates the most possible issues that may occur. The helmet ventilation system has no visible leakage and holds the pressure perfectly without being damaged. In cost analysis section, we can see that the complete device costs only $180 US, which is very cheap compared to the devices found in the market. This low-cost device can serve the emergency needs of the breathing support. All the standard of CPAP is achieved in this design, and some extraordinary features are added to this model. All these designs are done in different softwares. Finally, a low-cost prototype is developed and tested by accessible equipments like manometers, stopwatch, etc. Finally, there is a lot of scopes to improve the design, but the project is overall successful. Hope you have liked the presentation. Thank you very much.